Good evening, everybody. Tashidile. So today we supposed to start the Lamrim class, going for refuge to the three jewels. So before we start new lesson, I will do the short revision, the Lamrim beginning to until going for refuge to the Triple Gem. Because since from here, now we are really enter into Lamrim, enter into the practice of Dharma. At the first beginning of the Lamrim, generally explained the greatness of the composer of the Lamrim. Historically, Adisha Tibamgara Gyan was the first person who wrote texts named Lamrim. So he was one of the top scholar, practitioner in India, even though he was very famous, very popular, very practitioner, very learned, but still he need to go to see Lama Silendraba. We believe the place this day we call Indonesia. Second, what is the uniqueness of the Lamrim? Generally, all the Buddha teachings are Lamrim. All the commentaries on the Buddha teachings are Lamrim, but we never name as a Lamrim. But it's Lamrim, but not named as a Lamrim. So what is the uniqueness of the Lamrim? Why we need to study Lamrim? Why not enough to study, Heart Sutra, Buddhist way of life? There are so many hundreds of thousands of different textbooks, different teaching. Why we need to study Lamrim? That means that Lamrim has a very unique characteristic, very unique, things. Because in Lamrim, all the teaching taught by Buddha, all the meanings include into Lamrim. From beginning of the practice, we need to own master or guru till the no more learning state, which is Buddhahood. So from relying on the master until we completely become a Buddha, all the teachings, all the practices are included into Lamrim with a very simple way. When you study Heart Sutra or other text book, other teaching, you cannot see, there's no contradiction between Mahayana and Hinayana. Also, you cannot see, you never explain, there's no contradiction between Sutra Mahayana and Vajra Mahayana. When you study Lamrim, then you can see, you will learn there's no any small contradiction between Hinayana practices and Mahayana practice. Hinayana teaching and Mahayana teaching. Within the Mahayana, we have two types of practices, Sutra Mahayana. You cannot see there's a contradiction between, any Buddha teaching. So this is one of the very uniqueness of the Lamrim. When you study Heart Sutra, you never explain, there's no any contradiction between Hinayana, Mahayana, within the two Mahayanas. So we everybody must think. Generally in Buddhist tradition, we have two types of Buddhist practice. Theravada and Mahayana. All the Theravada practices, practice of Four Noble Truths, practice of dwelling independence, practice of Four Mindfulness, practice of eight unfold Arya paths, all the practices include renunciation, taking refuge. All of them are the very basic and very foundation, very important for the person who practice Mahayana practice. The person who wants to follow Mahayana teaching, they must practice all the Theravada practices. Also, they must learn all the Theravada practices. Really, or ignorance, ignore the Hinayana practices and Hinayana teaching, then you cannot be practitioner. I think battery is quite weak. It's quite tight. Okay, so you can therefore. So we ourselves, consider as a Mahayana practitioner, consider as a Mahayana follower. So we should not ignore. We should not, say we don't need to practice all the Hinayana practices. That means those are foundation. So when you study Lamrim, you can see there's no contradiction between Mahayana, Hinayana, within the Mahayana, Sutra Mahayana. Everything is related, interconnected each other. Then, second uniqueness of the Lamrim, the greatness of Lamrim is all the instruction instructed by Buddha, instructed by all the Indian masters, instructed by like a Chinese master, Tibetan master, Thai, Singapore, Malaysian, all the instructions mainly instruct for you to achieve liberation, Buddhahood, instruct for you how to be happy. That means all the Buddha teachings, all the commentaries on the Buddha teaching are instruction for you to achieve the lasting happiness, liberation, Buddhahood, how to be happy. So when you study Lamrim, you will realize all teachings are like a medicine. This day we have so many so many types of disease and sickness. Therefore, we need so many different types of medicines. Also, this day we have so many hospitals, big, small, luxury, very simple. Also, we have so many different types of people who are able to afford to have a treatment in the luxury hospital. For them, there's a big hospital. The person who not able to afford go there, there's another types of hospital. That means we have so many different types of, temple, center. Therefore, although it is very necessary for us for achieving lasting happiness, liberation, and Buddhahood. That means there's no any single words, single sentence which is not necessary for you, not important for you. All the Buddha teachings are very important, very necessary, very important instruction for you how to achieve happiness, how to achieve liberation, how to achieve Buddhahood, how to eliminate all the bad thoughts. Then the fourth, the uniqueness of the Lamrim, easy to realize the Buddha thought. This means, what is the reason, what is the main purpose to Buddha come to on the planet, come to this world? What is the main purpose? He didn't come because he want to visit the world, how it look like, right? Buddha come to the world, take a rebirth in the world because he wants to just don't want to enjoy the samsaric happiness. No. Buddha came to the world mainly release all sentient beings from samsara, cause of samsara. Buddha come to the planet to show, to teach us all the causes and conditions for achieving happiness, to achieving liberation, to achieving Buddhahood. Therefore, the Buddha mainly come to the world to teach us the emptiness, the truth, the reality. So after you study Lamrim, through study Lamrim, for you very easy to realize emptiness. Therefore, the one is the uniqueness of Lamrim, very easy to realize the main thoughts of the Buddha, which is emptiness. Then the last, greatness. So even though within the Mahayana, somebody say, I just practice the Sutra Mahayana, not Vajra Mahayana. Or some practitioners say, no, I practice is only, Vajra Mahayana, not the Sutra Mahayana. Sutra Mahayana is not necessary, no important. They criticize, they abandon the Sutra Mahayana. Some Sutra Mahayana practitioner abandon, the Vajra Mahayana. All the Mahayana practitioner abandon the Theravada teaching, the Theravada practices. Due to abandoning all this teaching, we accumulate, very serious negative actions. Therefore, after you study Lamrim, you will realize all the teachings are very important. You must have a very pure, complete respect to the Theravada teachings, Theravada practices, Theravada practitioner, Theravada follower. As well as you must have a pure respect to the person who follow the Sutra Mahayana. You must have a respect to the Sutra Mahayana teachings and practices. Also you must have the Vajrayana teaching, Vajrayana practice, Vajrayana practitioner. If you have this kind of respect, then the serious negativity going to eliminate, which is negativity of abandoning the Buddha teaching. So this is very uniqueness of the Lamrim. Next, after you realize, yes, that the teaching is so important, that this Lamrim is so important, then, even though Lamrim, other teachings are so important, because we are a sick person. We have been sick, for eons of eons, sickness of ignorance, desire, attachment, anger, to the suffering, origin of suffering. All this sickness we're not able to cure until now. We are still, sick. We will sick continuously if we're not able to practice the proper dharma, proper teaching. Therefore, next, after you found a teaching, even though any kinds of Buddhist teaching, like a teaching taught by Buddha Shakyamuni, teaching taught by other Buddhas, teaching taught by other masters, gurus or teacher, we must have a respect. Then how we, rely on the teaching, how we must listen the teaching. That means there's three things are very important, how you should listen. So that means this explain the quality of the disciple, the quality of the practitioner, also the vessel of the practitioner. So that means when you listen the teaching, you must listen teaching very carefully, listen, then make a reflection, then do the meditation. Also, when you listen the teaching, you must think, I'm a sick person, I'm sick for many eons. Now is the time to take the proper medicine. Now this is the only time to get the good treatment, treat all the, sickness of affect emotions. That means you look like patients. The Dharma is look like medicine. The teacher is look like a doctor. Teacher here can be referred to the Buddha Shakyamuni, also your gurus. This moment, we are very lucky, particularly all of you, except I think two of us. You are not Singaporean, right? You are Malaysian. I'm Indian. The rest of you are Singaporean, right? You are so lucky to be Singaporean. Even though you look at, when you go to India, when you go to Indonesia, Malaysia, China, Europe, then you really will, feel, oh, Singapore is very clean, very convenient, very easy to get everything. You don't have to go like 10, 20, 100 kilometers. In my country, I'm from Zanskar. If I got very serious sickness, first I have to, if I'm lucky, if I have enough money, I can book a taxi. If not, then I have to go through the public transport like a bus. It takes 15 to 16 hours. Stop for only breakfast, lunch. No air condition. If you feel so hot, no air condition. If you feel so cold, no heating. You just wrap by a blanket, you have them bumpy, dusty. Look at you when you're sick. You just walk, 10 minutes, there's hospital, very clean, very nice. Right? Even though, that's why one way you are very lucky to be, born in Singapore, have all the facilities. Even though sometimes we have a simple sickness we cannot bear, suddenly we wanted to see doctor, take the medicine, do all the, necessary thing. So we have more serious sickness. This sickness we can cure through taking the medicine of Dharma. Then is explain the quality, the motivation of the students. Next, yes, you had the right teaching, which is Lamrim. You really have all the good qualities as a good student. Next, what you need? You need a teacher. Teacher, right? So this time, we are very fortunate to be born as a human. All the facilities there. Very unfortunate, we cannot see all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We cannot hear their teaching. We don't have enough karma to meet and receive teaching. We wish to see Buddha, right? We wish to see Manjushri. Even though, when you listen teaching from your guru, your root guru or your lineage guru, some of you attend many times, teaching from His Holiness Dalai Lama or other, Singaporean Sifu, Chinese Sifu. When you listen the teaching from them, you cannot see the different teaching is different. Taught by Buddha, taught by a master, taught by Manjushri, taught by Sifu. You cannot, you can see the teaching exactly the same. There's no different teaching. Then why, even though you met the right teacher, right master, you're not happy with the teacher. You still want to see Buddha. Even though, if this time Buddha come here, first what we see, will we say, give me blessing, right? Blessing, give me blessing, give me blessing. They offer the red packet. Blessing. Then what Buddha going to say? How I can bless you, right? How I can? Because I taught all the teaching. We have more than 100 Buddha teaching there. We have a Lamrim here. Buddha definitely going to say, there are not better blessing than the Lamrim teaching. Lamrim is the best blessing. You must study, you must listen. Right? Therefore, second, we need, the qualified teacher. Qualified can be, I think, true, qualified based on the knowledge of the Buddha Dharma. Qualified based on the practice. And now, we are on the degeneration time. We cannot really find very, pure teacher who are fully qualified, who has a complete, Buddha Dharma knowledge. Complete means the master must have a good knowledge, perfect knowledge about the Theravada practices. The master must have a complete knowledge about Sutrayana teaching, Sutrayana practices. The master must have a complete knowledge about the Vajrayana teaching. Then we can say the master is qualified teaching, teacher based on the Buddha and Dharma. Second, yes, you can see, we have a lot of knowledgeable teacher, but that it doesn't mean all the teachers are qualified based on the practice. Study is very easy, right? Practice is very difficult. That means we must have a perfect teacher who are very serious practitioner who has all the Buddha Dharma knowledge. And this time is so difficult to find this kind of teacher. That's why someday you have to go to China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, India, Malaysia, Someday I think we are mistaken. The teacher who around you in the Singapore, you don't put really value. The teacher who stay far away, you go spend a lot of money and time, then you're very happy, right? Doesn't make sure you should not do like that. It doesn't mean I'm saying I'm a good teacher. Definitely I'm not. I'm really your good friend. Definitely. I can go with anybody, have a tea, coffee, walk around, walking Marina Bay. Other Sifu never go, right? Other Sifu come, be very humble, say, and they never go for you with the coffee, tea, walking. I can be your good friend, not good guru. Okay? So here I'm saying, you must find, the perfect teacher. Then what teacher must do? Teacher must be very humble. The teacher must be mastered in the three baskets, three mind trainings. Training of Pratimokkha vows or trainings of ethical discipline, training of mindfulness, and training of wisdom. How you can see if the teacher is, highly disciplined teacher, you can see the way of speaking, the way of acting, the way of eating. Then how you can see the teacher is very, high, he or she has a high level of, mindfulness training. Mindfulness training, that means, that when the teacher explain you, they explain in very systematic way. Then how you can find the teacher has a high, experience of wisdom. That means if the teacher, doesn't matter he or she, doesn't matter, black person, white person, red person, doesn't matter. The person who has a less negative thoughts, less emotion, then you can say, yes, the master must be very good. He or she has a, less negative thoughts. He fully, follow the ethical discipline. He always have a mindfulness. That means, also when the teacher teaching, give a teaching, they never have any motivation. I'm giving teaching to have more people around me. I'll give the teaching in order to earn some money, some power, name and fame. If that kind of motivation, the teacher won't be good teacher. That means quality of the, students, quality of the teacher. I often said to you, right? So we are very happy to, check the quality of the teacher, but we have never checked quality of ourselves. Did you? Do you? No. You should not always criticize the teacher, huh? Also, you must criticize yourself. Yeah, I'm a bad student. I supposed to do prostration, I forgot. I supposed to do my routine sadhana, I forgot. I supposed to do homework, I forgot. Huh? That means, or you should not pawn to the teacher, also pawn to you. Right? When you pawn, how you pawn? Like this? No. Right? That means one finger towards other, four towards you. So you must criticize more yourself than the teacher. Okay. That means how to listen teacher. How, what kind of quality you must have. What kind of quality must teacher have. If you seriously listen the teaching, you have all the good qualities, you met the right teacher, then for you very easy to gain certain knowledge, certain experience of practice of Dharma. That means, the land is very good, the soil, seeds, water, everything is very good, as well as you put the good fence. That means, definitely you will have the good, fruits, good tree. The land is good, seed no good, then you cannot grow. The land is good, seed, everything is good, no fence, right? Fence, then, someone come, animal or people come and destroy the crops, right? Then last, what should we do? Teacher and student together, always do the dedication after the teaching. Then, yes, you have, all the qualities. The teacher has all the good qualities. You are a very serious student. Then now, how should I rely on the teacher? Then, you remember, contemplating on the benefit of rely on teacher. Contemplating, the faults of not rely on teachers. Sometimes many people think, I don't need teacher, I can read books, I can study, I can do, self-study, and sometimes I can go attend teaching. I don't need, many people think I don't need a teacher. Look at the general knowledge. Most of all of you very educated. You become educated, rely on teacher. You learn ABC, then you master in English. You learn 1, 2, 3, then you master in mathematics. Right? Everything which you have, almost 80% you learn from someone. 20% you learn yourself. Dharma, you cannot learn yourself because we never know anything about practice of Dharma. We don't know impermanence. We don't know emptiness. We don't know fortitude. We don't know anything. We are totally blind person. How you can see the path to liberation. How you can see the path to Buddhahood. Because we never been before. We never heard before. This is the first time, we are hearing about the Dharma. We are hearing about liberation, Buddhahood. Until now, maybe we never heard before. Therefore, it's so important to rely on teacher. How long we should rely on the teacher? 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years? How many years? Until you become Buddhahood. That's why Mitra Buddha, we don't have picture. No, we don't have a Mitra picture. So when you look at the Mitra Buddhas, top of the head, what you had seen, top of the Mitra Buddha head, have you seen something? There's a, stupa here, stupa. That means Mitra Buddha made a commitment. I will rely on my Guru until I become a Buddha. This is symbolic of rely on the teacher until become Buddha. Also, Avalokiteshvara has how many? We have 11 face Avalokiteshvara. In the center, what we had? You can see Amida Buddha head. Amida Buddha head. Do you know the story? Actually, Avalokiteshvara made a commitment. He said, I won't be Buddha until all sentient beings become Buddha. There's 3 types of bodhicitta. One say, first I want to be Buddha, then I will bring all sentient beings from samsara to Buddhahood. He look like what you call king. The bodhicitta look like king. King is the head, then he looks after the people. Bodhicitta look like king. That means I want to be Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. That means first he or she become Buddha, then he or she have all sentient beings after. This is called bodhicitta look like a king. Bodhicitta like a king. Second, bodhicitta like a what? Shipper. Sheep and shipper. Shepherd. Sheep and shepherd. What does it mean? sheep and shepherd always must go together. If you let them go, the wolf come and kill the animal, right? That means they say, I want to be Buddha with all sentient beings together. That means bodhicitta like a shepherd. The last one, bodhicitta like a sailor, boat sailor, nyemba. The boat sailor must sit in the boat, then sail the boat same time, right? Then the last one, bodhicitta like a shepherd. That means shepherd, go after animal. First, all sheep or goats, let them go before. Then he or she always go after animal. That means I will be Buddha after all sentient beings become Buddha, right? That means our Lord Shora, he generate bodhicitta like a shepherd, right? Then he kept teaching every day, many eon. So he bring many sentient beings. Today, he release, 10 sentient beings to Buddhahood. Next morning, he saw there's more sentient beings in the samsara. Again, he give a teaching, show the path, let them practice. Also, he can see, yes, today able to release another, 1,000 animals. Next, he can show there's a more sentient beings samsara. Then he thought, no, I cannot do this kind of practice. He almost give up the practice of bodhicitta. He said, I cannot. Then his head become, I think, 10 pieces. So totally what you call break his head. Then Amida Buddha said, you should not think this way. I'll be your teacher until you become Buddha. Then we believe, he collect all the pieces, make again head. Then since Amida Buddha always center of the head of the our Lord Shora, then he always rely on the Amida Buddha until become a Buddha. Therefore, you should not think, of course I need a teacher, otherwise I don't understand, right? I need a teacher. Maybe I need a teacher, I need to rely on the teacher for maybe how many years? 10, 20 years, 100 years. No, whole this life, next life, after next life, until you become a Buddha, right? That means you need to rely on teacher. Then you know how to rely on by mind, how to rely on by physical, how to rely on the teacher by physically. That means mentally you must have a strong and stable belief and faith to your guru. But when you rely on your guru in generally not a Buddha. All gurus are not Buddha, right? But when you rely on, you just need to visualize. You just believe my guru is a Buddha. He or she is a Buddha. You have to look guru as a Buddha. I'm not saying all gurus are Buddha. Definitely not. Then the relationship between guru and teacher is so important. So therefore, before you rely on someone, you must check the quality. You must test, he or she can be my guru or not. I should rely on, or you test, few years. Then, if you really found he or she is very pure, very perfect, you think there won't be any problem. Then slowly you go closer and just accept him or her as your guru. Sometimes, many, people have some problem. Before they never check the quality, they never test he or she is good or not, just simply attend teaching, receive initiation. Then after a few years, few months, notice he or she is not good, then you feel you have a lot of dilemma. You don't know what to do. Oh, I also have this doubt. It doesn't mean, my teacher is no good. My teacher is always good. How I can solve the problem? Then Khedubje, disciple of Lama Tsong-kha-pa, he said, you rely on someone without test. And finally you notice the teacher is not qualified teacher. Then even though you can you can, break the relationship. Because at the beginning, you didn't rely in the proper way. Second, he or she is not qualified teacher. You just, break the relationship. There's no any, negative karma. Sometimes, you can see the teacher is correct. What he or she says is correct. He or she is always correct, perfect. Sometimes the teacher asks you to do a lot of study, practice. Then you're not happy. Slowly you didn't break the relationship, right? That means it's no good. No good, huh? No good. Many people say, "Oh, I want to see teacher," but even though when we want, when we go to see teacher, I feel like that. Oh, today my teacher we said like that. I cannot do. What should I do? Therefore, it's so important to build, the connection between student and teacher in the proper way. Then, after you rely on teacher, what do? You just keep a picture, offer all the light and incense. Then you always do prostration. What? No. After you rely on teacher, then you must receive all the instruction. Then practice, do meditation. We always stuck from there. Right? We go almost proper way until rely on teacher. Then when we met a teacher, receive some initiation teaching, then we do a lot of recitation, chanting mantra, and always pray to the teacher. Never go more. Therefore now from there you have to go more serious. Then how you do practice. Then between there, then you explain the meditation, right? How you should meditate. Then explain all the condition. Then first you need to recognize the leisure and what? Leisure and opportunity of your life. Then this man, no, you simply you just compare how many Singaporeans are. Only 5 million, 5.5 million. How many human beings? 7 billion. Compare with other human beings, Singaporean is very little. Right? If you compare human beings and other sentient beings, human being is a very small number. So it's so difficult to have this kind of life. Now we have to be very honest, because generally, of course, as a Buddhist, we like our teaching, our teacher, our tradition. You have to be very honest. You put one side, in Hinduism. Other side you put Buddhism. You compare the content, compare the meaning, compare the practice. Then you can see, if I compare Hinduism and Buddhism, the Buddhism has a more, scientific, logical, reasoning, more practical. Right? So you have to compare, you always need to compare your life and others. That means then you need to think about, impermanence. Then you start to practice small scope being shared with the middle and great. Well, we should not say, even though I think so many people said, small scope being path, middle scope being path. As a Mahayana practitioner, you must say small scope being path shared with the Mahayana practitioner. Middle scope being path shared with the Mahayana practitioner. Right? Then I hope you remember the analogy example. I said the person who wants to go to Paya Leba for a lavender first have to go to where Khalang, then Aljunat, then Paya Leba. The person who need to go to Paya Leba must go through Khalang and Aljunat. You cannot skip one of the tradition, right? That means we are considered as a Mahayana practitioner. So we practice the small scope being, the shared one, is not the, the unique one. Then you must remember the three, paths. The paths, small scope being paths shared with the great being, middle scope being paths shared with the Mahayana great beings. There's been also here important one, all the Buddha teachings, all the practices taught by Buddha Shakyamuni, it include into what? 3 paths. Small being paths, middle and great being. Why and how? Look at simply, just you want to be happy? Yes, right. I want to be happy. I want to be happy this life. I want to be happy next life. I want to be happy continuously until after next life. That means then how you can be happy this life, how you can be happy next life, how you can be happy after next life. Then he explain, practice of impermanence, practice of, law of causality. Not yet, taking refuge. Be honest. Eliminate, abandon the non-10 virtues, non-10 virtues actions. Practice the 10 virtues action. Then you can be happy this life, you can be happy next life, you can be happy after next life. Right? Here happiness is not referred to only the materially happy, physically happy, mainly mentally happiness. If you practice 10 non-virtues, can you be rich? Can you be billionaire, millionaire? No, you cannot. You become very poor. Right? But mentally, you are very rich. Mentally, you are very happy. So that means in order to happy this life, next life, after next life, practice the 10 virtues, abandon the non-10 virtues, based on remembering impermanence and death. Right? Also here we must learn all the people who believe other religion like Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Jewish, other religions, everybody doing the positive action. They are have been accumulating positive action all the time. They also will born, they also must be happy this life, next after next life. They will continually reborn in human life. So this is not very uniqueness of the Buddhist teaching, Buddha teaching. Then second, the middle being middle scope path is become very uniqueness. Because in ancient time India there was only 2 religions. What are they? Buddhist and non-Buddhist. Non-Buddhist is a 2, Hindu and Jainism. Jain, right? Jainism. So historically, Buddhism and Jainism, Jain, not Judaism, Jainism called twins religion. They come, I think, almost only 20 years different. I think first Buddha was elder or Mahavir, I'm not sure which one. Only 20 years different. The Jainism, Jain, have you seen the Jain monk? There's 2 types of monk. One wear clothes, one never wear clothes. They always be naked. And they're very serious. They don't eat food on the plates, on the cup. It's very interesting, they just, somebody always put rice and dal, then they lock this like finger, they eat like this, and add again, eat like this. They never use plates. They're not allowed to sit on the hot things. That's why one day, I think some Zen master came to see His Holiness Dalai Lama. So there wasn't, any like a hot things to sit there. On the ground, they put carpet. Right? They cannot move on the carpet. Chair is very soft. Finally, they have to stay on the table. Table. Yeah, the Zen master sit on the table. Then they discuss and, talk together. Very serious. They never wear any clothes, always naked. They don't eat food on the plate, always eat in the palm. There's a rule, I think. Then very interesting, when they're getting older and older, they are very serious, ascetic, right? Ascetic. They totally stop to eat at the beginning, don't eat any food, drink only like juice and water. Then after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they stop to drink juice, drink only water. Then finally, they don't take anything. They pass away. The Judaism. That's why here mainly I'm trying to explain you, in only that time, only Buddhism explain, root of the samsara is ignorance. If you eliminate the root of the samsara, you are free from samsara, right? But all the Hindus said, if you fully believe in, the Bhagwan, the God, you will be liberated. Then since, the middle scope path, then it become, real Buddhist teaching. Okay, now we start the new lesson, page number 177, right? Right, I asked you to do homework. Do you remember all the homework? Homework? I told you, right? I just told you. You should not say, TBC, Sipubu Hao. Give us a lot of homework. Homework. I asked, read about the Triple Gem, 3 jewels. 3 jewels. In Chinese, what do you call like 3 jewels? Sang means ye or sun. Pao means? Pao. Jewel means? If Buddha is jewel?
Jewel is jewelry. Pao.
Then Buddha is quite cheap. You can buy jewelry. Yeah, jewelry. Yeah, senpao, whatever. Now we just look at the page number 178. 78. Okay? So, look at going for refuge to the 3 jewels. In Sanskrit, they call redna. It's not just in general jewel, I think redna. Redna is, I think, very, very rare jewel. Very rare stone. So difficult to have this stone. Okay. Now we must ask question. Okay, I'm very healthy, physically healthy, mentally healthy. I can be mentally healthy forever, right? Even you are 80, 60, 90, 100 years, mentally you can be healthy. Physically you cannot. You cannot control your physical body. You're going to, decay. Going to get older and older. Finally, we cannot walk, cannot talk, cannot, eat. We cannot even move. Physically, you can become very weak, very unhealthy. But mentally, you can be healthy forever. Forever. This is, I think, very uniqueness as a Buddhist. When you have a physical problem, physical challenge, where your physical body, body become very weak, mentally you must be very healthy. When you physically become very weak, then you mentally become very weak. That means you are not good Buddhist. You are not good Buddhist. Okay? That means when we getting older and older, we must be mentally more healthier, mentally more happier. Physically, yes, lot of challenges we cannot control, right? Cannot control, right? That's means now we ask question. I'm physically healthy, mentally healthy. I have a job, I have a money. Singapore is very nice and clean country. Why I need Buddha, Dharma, Sangha? Why I need to take refuge? Why? You just ask question yourself. Why I need to take refuge in Buddha? What Buddha make me different? What I can get from Buddha? What? Teaching. Very boring, right? Very boring. Lamrim is very boring. Hasutar is more boring. Buddha Balita is very boring. What? Ask question, Why I need to take refuge in Buddha? Why I need Buddha? Why you need Buddha? You need Zambala, is okay. Right? Why need a Buddha? Huh? Where is the Buddha now? Seriously think about. This is the statue of the Zambala. Sometimes I think, you can see this. Many people think, this is Zambala. No, it's the statue of Zambala. This is statue of Buddha Shakyamuni. This statue of Thara. Why we kept this one? When we see, it reminds us, real Buddha. It reminds us the Manjushri. We should not pray the statue. Huh? You should not let the statue give everything. No, cannot give. That's why in Ladakh, there was, I think, artist who was making the statue, the clay statue. And there was another Muslim who always around him, he was always looking what he's doing. He was making the clay statue. When it's complete, it's become so beautiful with the color in eyes, with the nice clothes, so beautiful. The Muslim was very surprised. Actually it was before clay, right? Clay. No, it's so beautiful. He went to closer to the statue. Then he said, I know you are. Oh, I know what thing inside. You should not think you are so beautiful. I know you are inside. They thought they put a lot of paper, the stick, wood and stick, so many things. Outside look very nice. Inside, there are so many mantra, also incense, paper. He said, you should not think you're too beautiful, too nice. I know what inside you have. Right? You should not think these are real Buddha. Those are the statue for remaining us all the Buddhas. But we must respect as a real Buddha. Right? Then, where's the Buddha now? Where's the Manjushri? Where's the Amitabha Buddha in Pure Land? Where's the Pure Land? You can put it in the up sky, right? If you fly in the like an aeroplane, you cannot see. You go all the way to moon, you cannot see. When you reach to moon, you put on Amitabha there. Right? Where's the Buddha? That's why we really need to think as a Buddhist. Because, why I explain you, there's a 3 doors, 3 gateway, 3 intents. So taking refuge into Buddha, Dharma, Sangha are the intents of Buddhist. Intents of Buddhist. If you really believe in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, based on knowing the quality, then you are entered into Buddhist. You are Buddhist. That means taking refuge into Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is the intense gate of Buddhist. Then initiation, that you got a lot of initiation. Initiation is the intense of the Tantrayana. Without receive initiation, you cannot really practice Tantrayana. You cannot say, I practice Tantrayana, I practice Vajrayana. Then very important, another one, the Bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the intense of the what? Mahayana. If you accomplish Bodhicitta, you are Mahayana practitioner. You are Bodhisattvas. You are Mahayana being. If you take refuge into Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, based on knowing the quality, then you are Buddhist. You just believe without knowing anything, that means you are not really interested. You are just around about the gateway, not really interested. Therefore, of course, in the morning when you take, when you in the morning when you offer light incense, you pray to whom? Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. That is how you really imagine the Buddha. Buddha is in the space. Buddha in the altar. Where? Where's the Buddha? Where's the Buddha? Right? Here, you operate, you cannot see. You can just open, you can see lungs, then heart, kidney. You cannot see in. Open your head, you can see all the particles or brain. You cannot see Buddha. That's why very important question. It's not easy to receive the get the answer. Therefore, in Tibet, there was a huge crowd. Everybody rushing here and there. Somebody asking, why people are so crowded? Why are you rushing here and there? They say, oh, I want to see the head of the Gelugpa, the throne holder of Gelugpa, head of the Gelugpa. If we change every 5, 6, 10 years, the person thought very interesting. Where's the head of the garden? The head of the Gelugpa. Oh, you cannot see. He said, no, I cannot see. Look at in the space. When we bring the yellow umbrella. Look at in the sky. The color is yellow, yellow. He thought the yellow umbrella is the head of the Gelugpa. Okay, we are look like there. Where's the Buddha? He said, in the sky. Yeah, historically, Buddha Shakyamuni exist historically in India. He was born. Then what? Finally, what happened? He passed away. We said, took into Mahaparinirvana. And Theravada believe after he passed away, there's no more Buddha Shakyamuni. He thought when he take into Parinirvana, it was his last life. Then no more life. Right? Now where's the Buddha? Oh, Tibetan believe, Dalai Lama is the Buddha. Oh, in some of the Singaporean believe some Sifu is the Buddha. In the reality, we don't know. Therefore, so important to know what does mean Buddha, what is the quality of the Buddha. Therefore, rely on the means of the achieving happiness in the next life. Page number 179. The means for achieving happiness in the next life are explained in two parts. Right? We must rely on the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha for achieving happiness in next life. Just taking refuge into Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, you can achieve happiness in next life, but you're not going to achieve liberation. You need to do more practice. These are two paths. What are they? Two paths. What are number one? Turning in going for refuge, the excellent door of the entering the teaching. Okay, why ask you to read? Because then you can remember the words. The second, conviction, that is the root of all temporary happiness and certain goodness. Okay, look at number one is very important. Turning in the going for refuge is the excellent door of the entering the teaching. If you have the perfect refuge, the mind taking refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, really entering into Buddha teaching. Then what you can get benefit after you taking refuge into Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Look at developing the faith of the conviction. There is the root of all temporary happiness. This life, next life, after next, temporary happiness. The last one, certain goodness, liberation. Certain goodness, liberation. Right? Certain goodness, I think, liberation. And in Sanskrit, we call it Pradimokkha, right? Pradimokkha vows. Pradimokkha, then vows. In Sanskrit, you call Pradimokkha. In Tibetan, we call, Sosor Tharbe, Sosor Tharba. Sosor Tharba. Then Tharba is Moksha. Pardhi is, individual moksha. That means, if I practice ethical discipline, I myself can be free from suffering, but not you, right? Individual, liberation. The certain goodness is, I think, liberation here. Now, next one, there's a four, division. What are the four? Number one, going for refuge in explained in 4 parts. What are they? Please read. Refuge. Third. 4. Precept. So important, right? First, you need to know 2 paths. Going for refuge, the excellent door for the entering the teaching. The developing faith of the conviction is the root of the all temporary happiness and certain goodness. If you have a pure faith, very strong conviction about Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, it is the root. Then you have a root for happiness. You have a root for certain goodness, which is liberation. Liberation can be 2. Liberation, ordinary or complete liberation. Complete liberation refers to the Buddhahood. Now, next one, so how I should take refuge? How I can go refuge? That means causes for going for refuge. Right? Cause. That means the reason why I need to take refuge. Based on that, the object to which you go for refuge. So whom I should take refuge? The way you go for refuge, when you have gone for refuge, the stage of the precept. Now cause for going for refuge, very important. Look at, now you have, pure, you are taking refuge or not. Now you can see here. Now you can see yourself. In general, there are many causes. Generally, there are so many causes for taking refuge into Buddha. Generally, so many. Most important one, however, for our purpose, the following apply. Right? Following apply as previously explained. Where you explain when you explain about the suffering of the lower realms. Right? Also, you should not think, the lower realms, the hungry ghosts, animal, hell is so far. No. When you stop your breath, you are already next life. You are already in maybe, animal realms, hungry ghosts, or hell. It's very short, very close. It's next to you. Everybody just imagine now we are human in Singapore with the, air condition. We everybody just dead here. Next moment we everybody in hell. How do you feel? So hot. Very scary. You want to go there? Huh? No. He said, no, yeah. Obviously we don't want to go. But we never try to stop to go there. Right? That means you cannot remain in this life, you soon die. And after death, you have no control over where you will be reborn. For you are under the control of your karma. With regard to karma, right? That means you need 2 causes. One, sense of fear about lower realms, sense of fear about samsara. Fear. Right? Somebody told you have a serious cancer, which is the 4th stage. 4th stage, right? You reach to 4th stage. How do you feel? You feel so scared. Then what you do? You will see many doctors. You will try many medicine. You will try to eat healthy food. Because you feel scared. Scary, right? Scary, you feel scared. That's why you are looking refuge. You are looking gardens. Do you have a sense of fear about samsara? Huh? Really? Do you really fear in Singapore? Feel fear? Huh? Scared? Do you scare in Singapore? I think, you scared because we lock. Mini lock, right? We have mini lock in like door, there's a, what do you call? Gate lock. Then we have another door lock. Behind there's CC camera. CC camera, we're so scared. I think everybody's scared. Look at, we have to be very honest, right? Are you happy in samsara or not? Are you happy in Singapore or not? Yes, someday I'm happy, someday I'm, suffered. Are you scared about the lower realms or not? First, you really need to know the reality of the three lower realms. Second, you really need to know the nature of the samsara. Samsara. Samsara here referred to the physical body, not the place where you are born. For example, Buddha Shakyamuni was in Bodh Gaya. There are so many other Indian were there, all of them sharing same place. Right? The place we should not say is really complete samsara. Is a pure land for Buddha, samsara for us. The physical body is samsara, khorwa. We call inner samsara, inner truth of suffering. This is we call samsara. Just think about within one day. Think about one day. In the morning when we wake up, what we need to do? We need to take a shower. We need to brush. We need to clean our body. If are not, very smelly, very nasty. After clean is not enough. What? We need to eat and drink. We need to feed. After we eat and drink, is enough? No. Then we eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, between coffee, tea and juice. After we eat and drink, after a few hours, what? We need to clean again, go toilet. Then also, due to the eating and drinking, we become very fat, or we have a lot of sickness and disease. All these sufferings we have because of the physical body, the samsara, the inner, dukkha. This is what called samsara. That's why you really need to feel, I'm not happy this life. I'm facing all this problem because of this physical body. If you don't have a physical body, you don't need house. You don't need car, no MRT, no AC, no air conditioner, no nothing. Everything need we because body. We need all the food and drink because of the body. We need all the clothes because of the body. This body is samsara. You really need to feel scared about the samsara. When you feel scared, then you will look a refuge who protect you from samsara. There's two things very important. Fear of the sense of fear of samsara, and fully believe in into Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is look like the cause. Fully believe. Then second you go for taking refuge. For example, for example, somebody you are facing like a court case, right? Okay, you did some wrong things. Then police come, say, okay, you have to go to jail. Then what you feel so scary in going to jail. At the same time, you're looking, a person who can protect you, who has a more power. You need two minds, scary and looking protection. If you have two, then you go ask someone to protect you. Let me here two causes very important. Karma. So we are you are under the control of your karma. With regard to karma, now look at. Just as, this sentence everybody read slowly. Just as lighting in the dark cloud eliminated the darkness of black light, so do their infinite appear in the world by Buddha's power. A few moments of the intelligence of the cultivated virtues. This virtue is always weak. The sin is fairly powerful. Look at the next sentence here. Virtue is always weak. Then the sin is sin or negative karma. We should better to use the negative action. Is fiercely powerful. How is calm? The virtue is always weak. The sin is fiercely powerful. How is calm? Whenever we engage in negative action, we engage fully. Motivation was very strong. When we engage, we do action with very strong negative thoughts. And the end, we feel so happy. For example, you have an enemy you want to kill, you make a plan to kill him, her. Then at the beginning, few months you do a lot of preparation. Right? you're buying good, weapon, you train yourself, you do a lot of preparation with a very strong motivation. Motivation was very complete. When you're really going to kill, you are very careful. Make sure I able to kill the enemy. After I kill the person, you feel so happy. You rejoice yourself, right? So when we do positive action, we don't do a lot of preparation, right? No, maybe when you come to center, I think when you go finish class, you close the book, come TBC, then open, right? No preparation. Look at very weak. Then, even though we have a class, actually, I'm not good teacher, can explain all the teaching very well, but your half money is TBC, half must go in the shop, coffee shop, or maybe house around. Your money go around. Tell me when you really engage, there's no complete. After end, you thought, oh, so happy, class is finished. That means, therefore, right, the negative karma is very fairly powerful. The virtues is always weak, very weak. Therefore, after we death, where we go, we will be controlled by negative karma. They are so powerful. We have a lot of negative karmas. Not only a lot of, they are so powerful. We have very little positive karma, they are so weak. Look like, if there's a war between Singapore and China, China is so huge, Singapore is very little, right? That's why there's a war between positive action and negative action. Our positive action is so weak. That means, this moment, if we death, today and tomorrow, then definitely 100% we will have unfortunate life. It's sure, right? Therefore, as we need a true condition before you take refuge. So we don't have a time. So anyway, until as a homework, very little, page number 178 until 190. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. Everybody go page by page and, point the most important one. If you point, look at it, it's actually here. The cause for going for refuge. The reasons why they are worthy to be refuge. Then you can read, end of the page. Then you can just jump over page number 181. Then there's the number 3, then number 1, the A. You go this sentence by sentence. Okay, this means if you go through all the pages sentence by sentence, then you will have a good understanding why I need to take refuge, whom I take refuge, how I take refuge. After I took refuge, what should I supposed to do or should not supposed to do. Okay, those are so important as a homework. Then next lesson we start from page number 192. As today, so we just go through, bit by bit, page number 90. Then we will start a new lesson, the precepts of refuge. Then we spend there one, I think, 1 or 2, I think 2 classes. Then we go all the way, page number 215. The varieties of karma. Okay? That means taking refuge, we will spend only 3 classes. Then we go about study karma. So we spend, I think, few classes about the karma and the middle scope path shared with the great being. Then we go into all the way to Buddhichitta. Okay? Any question? So we have a few minutes. If you have a question, so we have a time for question. If not, then we can do the dedication prayers. No question, huh? No question? Then don't forget to do the homework, please.